Good morning, namaskar to all. This is Suraj Singh, civil engineer, professional engineer, chartered engineer, building structures and management. Constitution of India again and implications of this by us. Constitution of India again, first document of our country which controls us. We are subjects under this document, important document, Bharat ka Savidhaan, Constitution of India, main document of this by which impacts are good on 1.4 billion people, applies, done by government or not done by government, whatever. And and we people of Bharat, India, we people of Bharat, India, having solemnly resolved to constitute our Bharat, India into a sovereign, secular, socialist, democratic republic state, and to allow our people and to secure to them three main principles, points, which are justice, liberty, and equality, and justice of everything, you can say society, economics, and politics, and liberty of thoughts, liberty of expression, liberty of belief, liberty of faith, and liberty of worship, and equality of status and equality of opportunity. These 3 points have very wide meanings and it takes hours and hours to explain them. So, but this is basic titles, and then to promote friendship, fraternity, what you will call as brotherhood among all citizens, all individuals of our peoples, our India, our Bharat, and ours. This this was designed by us. This document was produced by us. It was having our opinions at that time and now as well, because amendments keep on going, and we revised, designed, and enacted it into a law, prime law, and into you can say we adopted it, approved it, and we ultimately gave it to ourselves for being implemented onto us, all citizens of Bharat in particular, and it applies to all those also who reside here to extent of their residency. This is not easy document. This is easy in script, easy in positions of article, but implications are not that easy. It is very complex, but it is required. It's our document. You can say it is our brainchild of all people, and in fact, it is top title of Constitution of Bharat India, which contains 395 articles of eminence, articles of importance, and articles of significance, which are very, very valuable, and we may say a credit to ourselves that we could gain this from various sources. We accumulated this, and this accumulation was from you can say our Government of India Act 1935, which was enacted by British regime when British were our kings, and from many other 12 countries, various positions, various points were taken, various locations from their relevant laws were taken and included and inserted into our constitution after approval of all our people. And that is very, very important. You cannot say that this is just a document, this is not a document, this contains our minds and this contains our spirit and soul. And spirit and soul cannot be removed any time or cannot be refilled any time. It is removed only one time and not more than that. Because when it is removed, only body remains and not whole body, means working body or live body. It was dead body. we have to take this into consideration. This document cannot be taken for granted, just like Indira Gandhi took once and now is being taken for granted by many of our leaders, including Prime Minister, even Prime Minister, who doesn't care for this document, and Government of India least bother about this document, which is unfortunate. They forget that this is a document that there is in the provision in 51A, fundamental duties of our constitution, which is more significant for purpose of implementation, which is more practical in approach in line to comply preambles of this constitution. Preambles are to be applied. This can be applied by doing work and by, we can say, fulfilling our work and duties which are required by 51A fundamental duties. If we have some right there, we have to do some right. Duty is also right. Say simply benefits are not right. Duty is your right. You have to do duty. Otherwise, you are now more than a stone. You have to do your duty. Don't be soil. Don't be stone. Be working person. Be live. And that's it. We have to abide by this constant. First duty is that, and you cannot avoid that. That is an order of ourselves, because this is our document. We produce this is our own order, that we have to abide by this constitution. We have to abide by our flag. We have to abide by institutions. We have to abide by our song, national song. We have to abide by all activities. We have to abide by all institutions. We have to abide by all systems. We have to abide by our environment. We have to respect our environment. We have to protect our resources, whatever resources, natural resources, other resources. We have to accept science. We have to develop science. We have to do each and thing. We have to follow ideals. That ideals are used by our freedom fighters. How to take this in forward, and we have to respect all and all and all, whatever is required. Simply saying that. To comply with this means every human is required here to be honored in our country. Everybody has a right to do something and has to do. You do something and get benefit of that. Benefit not in form of money, but benefit in terms of existential survival to upgrade this country. We don't want to sleep. Don't sleep. Do something for this country, and that is what Pandul says. Comply. Don't damage others. Everybody believes some religion. Let him believe that, no problem. Everybody has some caste in their culture. Let them have caste, no problem. But it should not affect other one. Religion should not affect one. This is very important. That science, believe science. Don't believe. You can say don't believe blind faith. Blind faith harms us. Analytical faith is okay, but there's a justification that becomes system. But analysis, just like believing this religion, doing this worship, that is a personal issue. There's a personal topic with government, with God. That's nothing to do with constitution. Constitution says every justification must be there, and you have system, and our system is there. Well, it's not that again, and I am telling you that only thing is I will not speak again all these points, but those points that must be remembered all the time by each citizen. But unfortunately, our people do not have that capacity to remember. Our students and our, I can say, our adolescent community and our youth and our mature people and our seniors, etc. They don't bother about our constitution because they don't want to take unnecessary headache, or they are busy, and they are so busy. The nation has gone to moon and to sun. They are so busy. They are just talking and sleeping and playing at cards and gardens. More than 50% people are not working at all. So that is not a problem. Problem is that we are not taking interest, and lack of interest create problem for us if we don't have any information. Well, information is a must for every citizen or individual to have information, aspire and procure information from a source for purpose of this. But that only person who are dedicated to this country, who work for this country, who think for this country, only those people can do. Others cannot do. That's only I can say. Nothing else in this case. We have to understand that India-Bharat and is our country, it's our home, it's everything. When leaders neither leaders think nor public, nobody thinks institutions don't think. Unfortunately, that's happening. Nobody is so serious in this country. People are often sleeping and they don't come up and they don't have any milestone or the destiny in this life in the country. And that's the reason. Well, I'm not going to criticize this because people I cannot change them. Everybody is thinking there maybe some people are good and not good. It's up to them. They are living in this country and they should work. Is their soul allows they work. If their soul doesn't, don't work. I don't care for that. Here question is, now I have to consider for today's talk, and one consider election commission and other one is UN and similar agreement. Now I'm talking with election commission. Election commission Laura says something else. He doesn't mean ballot boxes. He says that I will not allow ballot boxes. Elections will go on by electronic voting machines. This is said. My question to election commission is, who are you? You are only election commission, not honor of this country. He is shielding behind the Supreme Court judgments. Supreme Court is not honor of this country. Remember, Supreme Court. Neither Supreme Court nor Election Commission of this country, neither Prime Minister and neither President of this country, none of the honor of this country. Honor of this country is the people of this country, not President, not Supreme Court, not Prime Minister, not Parliament, and none of you except individual of this country, city of this country, in collective body. We 1.4 billion people are honor of this country, and we don't care what you say about. Okay. Listen, Election Commissioner, you are a public servant and you are getting salary from taxes that I pay and others pay. You are my servant and you are a public servant. You cannot say whatever you want to say. And Supreme Court, you don't take shield of Supreme Court. Supreme Court did not stop you from ballot boxes. He supported EVM, but he never ordered that you cannot use ballot boxes. He did order that. And why you are barking? Stop barking and think and listen. You have to do what is required by public, not by your own. You are not our public. You are administrator of voting system, and that is nothing else. You supervise it, but you do what you want. But don't decide policy on this. Policy is this, public has to decide. We don't believe in your system. That's it. Your election commission means servant only. Your job is to conduct election. Policy is not your decision. It is public that has to decide. When public decide about constitution, it can decide among this small voting system. You cannot pull rights. You cannot snatch right of my. Yeah, I don't know where my vote is. Who hell you are to say yes, his vote has gone? Prove that my vote is over where I proceed. Can you prove it? I want recounting. Can you do recounting? You cannot do that. Then don't bark there. I'm telling you. Stay in your limits. You are not God of this country. Only. Nobody will vote you. You EVM. Hell with your EVM. We don't trust EVM. Why do you force us to trust? Who are you? Nobody has right to force public. We don't vote in EVM. We will vote on ballot boxes. We don't trust you. We don't trust you as well now. You are a criminal. Where are 20 lakh machines? Where is the difference of 372 constituency voting counting? Where are 3 lakh unnumbered machines you use? Who is responsible for that? Did you give any response to public? You don't give any response because you are involved with that. It is you who did all this with BJP and with Modi, nobody else. You are assistant to Modi. Are you paid for that? You are talking about Modi for what? We are paying you, public is paying you from our sweat and hard earned. We are paying to you, we are paying to SC, we are paying to Prime Minister, we are paying to Lok Sabha MPs, we are to everybody to loot us. You have to do what we want. Public does not believe in EVM, and you have to understand that. If you don't understand, you will be suffering. If you understand now, it's better. As soon as you understand, as soon as better you understand. Maybe 10-15% people are Modi bhakts. We don't care for that. They may like EVM. Let them cast by EVM. We don't care. But we, those who don't want to cast by EVM, you cannot force them to cast by EVM. You make two systems. Those who want to cast by, you let them cast by EVM, and don't want to go by vote. You have must give option. Keep their ballot box and keep their machines. Keep both. We don't mind. Let anybody go to EVM. Let him go to EVM. Person who wants to call it ballot, give him ballot. This is your job. You arrange both. We don't believe in a system of SC, and we don't believe in your system. We want ballot. If you want EVM, keep EVM also. Nobody is stopping you. But I want to use ballot means this is my right. You cannot stop him. Where is written in Constitution that you cannot use ballot? It is mandatory in Constitution. It is mandatory in people's representative right. Ballots are to be used. EVM is optional. Just the discretion of you for some certain emergencies. It's not for everything. So don't tell us what we have to understand. We are public and we can remove you also if you don't do this. We can throw you out of your office. We can cancel your appointment. Public is public. Your appointment is not permanently fixed. If you are criminal, if you are intrigued, you should be independent. You are not servant of Prime Minister. You are not servant. You are independent of constitutional officer, constitutional authority, and you have to respect Constitution. This is written in Article 51A that everyone has to respect. Everyone abide by Constitution. So abide by Constitution. If you cannot do your fundamental duty, go out of office. You will get another one. Public shall appoint election commissioner. Help with government. We are paying you. It's our country as voters. You cannot make our rights negative. You are negating our rights. It's my choice. Who are you to say, I will not allow ballot? We will not allow you and get lost. Come abide by the constitution, that's it. Public doesn't want this, and public is major, public is everything. You are sitting here because of public, not because of Prime Minister. SC is also sitting because of public and not because of Prime Minister, because of itself. No. It's the public who is paying. Institutional SC is for public. Institutional election commission is for public. Government affairs for public. Prime Minister is for public. Everybody is doing for public, not for on their own. We are understanding. We understand what we are. You cannot jump off our rights. You cannot pull our rights. Mind it clearly. Keep in limits. Don't cross limits. We don't care for political parties who they are. And listen, when you send slips for votes, you should give a list also of candidates. Why don't you show a list of candidates? I don't want to vote for BJP. I don't want to vote for Congress. I don't want to vote for any political party. You cannot force me to vote for them. Give me a list of all candidates who are there for my constituency or every constituency. We have to see how many candidates are there. We have to understand that, and we want to see whom to vote or whom not to vote. Give their list and give your CVs, brief CVs. If you don't give, you will not vote because you are not doing a job. It's your job to tell us how many candidates are there and what they do. What is their brief CV profile? If a criminal is there, if a person with FIR is there, we will not vote. It is because of you. 233 criminals are there now sitting in Lok Sabha. It is because of you only. You did not scrutinize their applications clearly. You didn't screen them clearly. This is your job. You did not your job. I did got a list of candidates contesting election from my constituency whom I should know. Then even nota is no value because I cannot use nota when I don't know all candidates. For me, maybe there are some good candidates. How can I say they are not good? I cannot use nota also. So you are not allowing me to use nota. That is why I am saying I want to spoil my votes. Give me ballot paper. This is my right, not your right. If you don't do it, you are not doing the job. Do your job. You cannot take excuses of Supreme Court shields. You cannot take that, but Supreme Court decide. Supreme Court never stop public to use ballot papers. The Supreme Court can also force. Can't force this. Supreme Court doesn't have that right. On what basis the Supreme Court will say that just use EVMs and not ballot papers? What was logic with Supreme Court? What is speech? What is speaking explanation with Supreme Court? No Supreme Court. People's representative clearly says ballots. Man, that's all. When you are using ballots from by postal, why you use this? I consider me as post. That's it. Listen, if you don't do, people will not vote. Simple. People are angry with you, angry with Prime Minister, and angry with SC. People are angry with all these three. This triangle. People are not trusting SC because of you. There is a degradation of SC authority now. SC authority has been eroded. It is that SC which people used to consider temple. Now they are not considered temple. Many of say SC is also mixed with you or with government. As you have dented SC image, you have indented that because of you. SC is considered the highest profile in this country, but now because of you it has been dented. Because of Prime Minister, you have damaged our constitutional offices. What interest you have got? Tell me. What interest you have got? Tell public that you want only EVMs because you are getting commission of that, or you are getting adjustment with that, or hinted with that. What your interest is? Let Prime Minister have any interest for him. Let he can enter. But what interest you have got? Election Commissioner, tell us that. You are honorable, but you act like a criminal. So I don't want to use honorable title for you. You are honorable, but I can't use honorable because you did not do that. Understand? This is Bharat. Public is sleeping, but when public get up, you have to sleep. Listen, don't try to be over smart. You are not over smart. You are just an officer, just take authority to conduct election and do that. Better keep in that limit. More than this, I would say, if you don't allow ballot papers, people shall stop voting, and you are the responsible for that. You don't think if you just 5% people vote, you will know. This will create havoc in this country. And maybe you have to face public resentment. Then what do you do? Then you say, let police, and police, what shall police do? Police is also from public. Police is not the slave to you or to Prime Minister. There is some limit of everything. You have to follow what public wants. And that's it, no more than that. If you don't follow, you will face problems. Prime Minister will face problems. Government will face problems. And even Supreme Court may face problems. Because Supreme Court also has to do reliable justice, not whatever Supreme Court wants to think. No, I have decided no, Supreme Court has the right to think and rethink for public, not for Supreme Court. We respect Supreme Court, but Supreme Court has to think about public first, not a comment or why what fear Supreme Court has got. It is independent. It's neither dependent on the legislature, not dependent on someone else. It's a godlike. Supreme Court is godlike, but they have to conduct that way. They have to think for people only, not for government, not for election commissioner. All right. Now, this is regarding election commission, which I don't want to talk more because there are many people. EVM revolutions are going on all over the country. Many groups have started. Many small political parties have started. Many people, individuals have started. They're talking every day. It's going on, and all over this country is going on, and that is a very good step. And people are. I'm happy with people that at least they are rising. They're rising to requirement. They are talking and they are doing something which must be done, because this is country for everybody, and everybody has the right to speak and they're sure. Maybe later Prime Minister orders that they should be arrested or something else, that dictatorship, but so far there's nothing as such, and the government is trying to divert this attention by doing JMK and something else like that. Now come on to JMK issue, which is very important and rising issue, burning issue, and it has gone to international attention now. International involvement has started come up. This is because of Prime Minister. Only Prime Minister, EVM Prime Minister doesn't want to see that economy should come in. People should talk economy. People should talk employment. People should talk EVM. People should talk RTI. All that they don't want. Prime Minister doesn't want that. He wants to keep everything silent. That's it. And that is the reason they have abused JNK and they abused Constitution of Bharat, Article 370 and CO 48 1954. Unfortunately, they say it's internal matter. Yes, it is internal matter to some extent, not to full extent, as I said before. It is internal to maybe 20%, not 100%. Because there are many documents involved with GAK, many documents are involved, like discussed before also. For example, you can say start with the instrument of accession, which is an international document between Bharat and between Kingdom of JNK, and there are other documents reliable, which are say internal arrangement of the constitution inserted with 370, and there's one document, and then constitution followed and inserted with CO 48 19, the third one. There are three documents, two are internal, one is external. Accession instrument is external, and 370 article in COI and CO 48 1954 COI both are internal documents indeed, but these internal documents are not exclusively internal because these are connected to instrument accession. So these draw power from instrument accession. So these are also, can we say, virtually these are external documents to some 50% extent. So that way we have to understand, not simply saying this is absolutely internal document. No, these are not absolutely document. These are dependent on instrument of accession, which is international document. These are three for us. Let's go to outside then. Outside, what is outside? Outside are many documents. For example, let us say there was a dispute between us and Pakistan in 1947-48. That dispute led us to UNO. Both of us went to UNO, and there was an agreement that's called UN resolution for plebiscite in Jammu and Kashmir. Plebiscite means referendum. Public has to tell, public wants to go to Pakistan, or public wants to go to us, or they want to remain independent. This is the question. So this has not been decided yet. The document is just there. There have been many repetitions of that resolution. I've gone through. If you can browse that, you browse that UNO, and you will find where how many times it was revised. So that resolution is there, which we don't accept. Whether we accept or we don't, that's something else. But facts remain facts, and that document is still alive. And after that, there was document 1970, which was signed with Indira Gandhi, Prime Minister of our country, and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto of Pakistan, which is also international document because one country was Pakistan and another was Bharat. So this is signed with both. This says that our dispute will be resolved by bilateral talks within Bharat and within Pakistan, and that was required to be maintained. Both countries shall respect sovereignty of each other. That must be respect. Both countries will not interfere in internal affairs of each other. That must be respected. And all these 290,000 surrender period shall be returned, and they were returned. And whatever occupations areas have been returned, that's why I agreed in 1970. Right or wrong doesn't matter now because it is an international document. It's available to you also. Then there was another one, Mr. Very much Prime Minister of this country, he visited Lahore, and there's a Lahore declaration to Pakistan, and that declaration is also an international document. So what do we have to say? Out of three documents there, out of three documents here, one is accession instrument, one is 370, one is CO 48, there's three documents, and then this UN resolution, fourth one, and because a civil agreement, fifth one, and Lahore decision, sixth one, and there will be something after that. There are six documents are there. Out of these six, there are four documents which are international character. Up up to accession. The accession is one external. These three are external, so there are four documents is external. Out of six documents, majority is external. This means only two documents are internal. That is also dependent on external document. Out of six documents, four documents amount to international status. Then you cannot blindly say that Kashmir and Jammu are internal matters. It may be international matter to some extent for you, which do not affect other country. But here is a dispute. We are calling it our integrated part. Yes, that is right, is our integrated part. But other party is not accepting. What to do? This means there is a dispute. We agree that it is internal, it's our part. They say it's not your part. This means there is a dispute. This means it should be resolved. That's all. When two parties don't agree on something, there must be a solution. So Prime Minister changed 370, Prime Minister changed CO 48, they changed their choice, and our Honorable President accepted that. Honorable President is very intelligent, he is very qualified, he is loyal, luminaries, but he did not analyze anything, he just signed what Prime Minister wanted to sign, and that's it. I will criticize him because he is bound, he wants that post, what you said. He had a right to question, he didn't question. He could write by your English, he didn't write to act like a prominent lawmaker. He didn't act like that. He just acted what once. He means like if you just give him paper, he will sign on that like that. Blank paper. He can sign it like paper. So if that type of person is there, sit, then I cannot comment on that. Because president is president. Ultimately, he is our top. He is our top. He represents 140 crore people of this country, but he just represented prime minister, not people of this country. Unfortunately. I'm also saying this because some people, let us example of RTI, the RTI Act which has been amended. Many people wanted to deposit submit their petitions at date number 38 on President House, but they were not allowed because this means there is an order from President that don't accept these petitions. And this means if a president go to that extent, this means that president is not public president, that president is only Prime Minister's president. And this is not good for this country. President should be public president. He is not public president. Unfortunately, he is just representing government. But government says yes, he says yes. If government says no, he says no, and that is not good. Though of course he has one chance only to return something, but he is not using that chance. Second chance, we know that he is forced. But in the first chance, he is not bound by what Council of Ministers order or advice, whatever it is. Is maybe advice means order. Advice is also order equal to order. So what I'm saying is, if Prime Minister and President, Prime Minister acts that you are under me, now President has acted like as if he's reporting to Prime Minister, not independent. He has acted like that. Unfortunately, he should act like that because he is a qualified person. He is really a qualified person, a highest profile person, a lawmaker, a law professional. So he should acted in that way, but he has not acted in that way, and that is really bad for us. Well, I don't want to tell you, after all, he is honorable president of this country. I have full right to say to MPs anything. I have full right to say anything to MPs appointed, MPs elected prime minister, because they are our elected people. MPs are our elected people, and prime ministers sequentially higher elected people, MPs. So they are voted. They are by votes. They are elected. MPs are elected by votes, but president is not elected by our votes. So we cannot say we should not. We should honor president. I am completely honoring my institution of president, but as a person, he did not do what he was required to do. Well, I'm sorry for that. Now, let's go to UNO. Pakistan applied in UNO post what happened in our country. Article 372 scrap and CO 48-19 replacement by another order, another resolution of president, which started this problem actually. We can say quashed, equivalent to quash, Article 370 of Constitution, and we quashed CO 48-1954, and we replaced that quash by CO 2019, which says that all provisions of Constitution of India shall apply to state of J, state of K, and state of L. That is like that, because they have cancelled all these states. J and K status doesn't exist now according to that law, according to that resolution. There is a union territory of J&K, and there's one more union territory. This is the status now. That whatever titles were there have been changed, and no constituent assembly, only assembly which is equivalent to legislative assembly which is equivalent to constituent assembly. This is what it says. Well, now this is a story. Now Pakistan, because Pakistan is a party to UN in that referendum resolution, so indirectly that is involved, indirectly, not directly to us. After that, there was similar agreement, and in that also that is a party, so they are involved. Question is, they say that J and K is a disputed land. They claim that, and we claim that this is our internal matter. So there is a clash. We are claiming something is our ownership, and they are claiming something disputed ownership. So when there is a clash between disputed ownership and ownership, who will resolve? Either you sit together and resolve, and this is what similar agreement mandates: sit together, bilateral talk, and decide. But we did not do that. Whatever being reason behind that, Congress resigned or BJP resigned, whatever could be a reason, I'm not going into that detail, but we did not talk. They offered talk, we did not talk. But terrorism or whatever reason, that is secondary. Even if there is terrorism, talks can go on to low profile, but should go on. But if it will stop, they will stop, and now not going on. So the UN was accessed by Prime Minister of Pakistan, and they are considering they order that they directed, in fact, that conduct talks between two countries according to similar agreement. So we cannot say no also. If you say no to UN, no, they will say okay. If you cannot conduct, you will appoint a third party, right? They are just giving an opportunity according to your constitution and similar agreement which was signed between Indira Gandhi and Bhutto in 1972. They are just trying to give an opportunity so that they should not go higher step, ascend higher step. They are just asked that please conduct talks so that if some decision reaches, some good decision resolution reaches, can be resorted to for implementation. It is because Modi put 1 crore people behind lockup of homes, which is not accepted by anybody in this world. Only Israel can do such acts, such bad acts. Only Israel is expert of those. Israel is expert, and I think our Prime Minister is taking lessons from Israel. Government is taking lessons from Israel how to deal with people, how to mishandle people, how to abuse people, how to apply hard act on them, and this is what we have done. Nobody recognizes it in our people, and one person who recognizes only Modi. That's all, no other. If those who apply, they are, I think, here blank, void. You cannot keep people behind bars, behind jails. For what crime? They themselves don't know. They say in name of in maintaining law and order. If you have to put persons in jail for maintaining law and order, this means your police is inefficient, your rule is inefficient. No, you have capacity. No, you don't have any capacity to conduct politics. You don't have capacity to govern. If you cannot control people by peaceful actions, just keep them in jail or nazarbandi, what you call, then you have no right to govern. Fact is that. If they are terrorists, you prove that they are terrorists, hell them, but all are not terrorists. Can 1 crore be terrorists? Are they criminals? Are they offenders? If they are there and you cannot conduct them, you have to put them under your operation, and you have no potential to govern them. Simple. And then after having arrested them, you broke that state geographically. You applied your new legislation there. You applied their new power there. And now there, when there is a bumping, when there is a turbulence in world and in many countries regarding this step, you are starting to say, oh, this is only temporary, that the union territory converts as temporary. They will be reinstated state later on. But this is an excuse. This is an excuse. Why did you do it at first place? Why you did not do your duty? You should have called them, you should have invited a bargain, you should have discussed with them according to accession instrument what is required. And even if that is not even an accession instrument, it's a general principle that you talk to people. You talk to people, it's your duty, not duty of Pakistan. Because they are in you are calling them our people. If you are calling them your people, like people in Delhi, like people in all other parts of this country, they are your people, then you not talk to your people? Are you so weak, government? Is this government so weak that they have no stamina to talk to their own people? Who is asking you to talk to Hurriyat? Who is asking? Their people, your politicians are there, your ministers are there, public is there. Can you not talk with them? Means you are such government, you are such prime minister, and you are such ministers who are either covered, so scared not to talk to people, or they take it for granted that these people are just kura kamala. We don't want to talk to them. They are just rags. Do you consider them wrong? We let them sleep and we will take decisions on their behalf, whether or not they accept it or yes. This is not acceptable. If you cannot talk to your people, you have no right to be in seat even for a single second. Believe me. You have withdrawn yourself from conducting your duty as Prime Minister and your government of India. And President did same. Talk to them. You should not talk to them. Yes, if there had been no agreement and they were inaccessible, because excessive resistance from them, or they should have start beating you or taking resource or shooting your people, you had a right to do this. But they did nothing. So why you did that? This is inhuman act. Really? This is a violation of human rights. This is a violation of public's silence, public's innocence. You have killed their innocence. You have hit their head spiritually. Were they happy? They were happy. Maybe they were happy with you. Maybe they required you. They respected you. But now they would not respect you. Because it's same thing as it put behind you, punish a child in home, stay in, close him in a room for 2 days, and child will not respect you. That child will remain forever. My father put me in that room for 2 days, and they deliver my food through window. That child would remember that for whole life, either for good or for bad. That child will go, oh, my father treated me that way, and after that I changed my conduct and started study, and that, or that child is become, you can say, gunda type, naughty boy, naughty. So you are making them naughty or you are making them good. I don't know. Time would tell. But so far, whatever you've done is nonsense. You should not have done that. You should have acted like diplomatic person, mature person, pragmatic person. But you acted like Gali ka gunda. What they say, hey, put him behind bar, close him, we don't give food. It's like that. You forget that that is a society. There are senior veterans, there are males, females, women, kids, young, youth, everybody is there, school, colleges are there, life is there, they are living people, they are not animals. You forget all that considerations. Just for sake of your, what you wanted to do, means you can do whatever you want to do at any cost. That's interpretation, that's construction of what you did. If you are of such behavior, what's the difference between Hitler and your act? There's no difference. You are gradually moving to a level, getting promotions automatically to reach Hitler and then super Hitler. It looks, because we are a big country. We are not German. We are a very big country. You have created a atmosphere of scares everywhere. But people are coming out. How many people you will put in jail? All 140 crores people? Can you put in jail? Maybe 10% your bucks or 20% your bucks, they support you. But fact is this, that people do not support this act. RTI, they don't support what you did. JNK, they don't support what you did. And whatever you are doing about triple talaq and about this, you do that. Nobody stops you. But at least such acts which are of international nature, you should have thought 100 times before doing that. You think the whole world is your servant? Okay, you can be full people of this country. You can emotionalize them. You think that whatever you say, people accept. That is a chemistry between you and people of this country. That is a different issue. But don't think this whole world accepts that. Whole world shall not accept you. They are not your people. They are not your servants, and they don't work for you. And they don't care for you actually. Your people may be with you. Doesn't matter. So what I'm saying is, you said that this is an internal matter, Article 370 and CO 48. But what UN has said now, UN said conduct talks bilaterally under civil agreement. So what? What you achieved? You could do it before, creating all this sin. You did not do that. So public has to pay now, not you. It's public that is suffering. Image of this country has been can say damaged. You have damaged our image. Well, people have to decide, not me. My criticism doesn't mean anything because I am one of voters, not more than that. I don't belong to any party, and I blame Congress also. Because Congress is not doing what is required to do. Congress is not talking EVM abuse. Congress is not talking anything. They are just conducting some press conferences, just say this. You are a party. You rule this country for many decades. It is your duty to help people, but you are running away. This means you are also somewhere intrigued with BJP. Somewhere you have connection with them, so that you are saying yes, 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 and that's it. And to public, you are just saying we are in opposition. You are not supporting public. Congress people, listen. If this happens, you will be nowhere. BJP shall be removed by ballot papers. Yes, if ballot papers are not used, EVM is used, BJP shall remain there forever. We know that. And that is what BJP wants. But people don't want that. People are people. When they burst, you know what happens. When they burst, it's difficult for Prime Minister and it's difficult for President and even army to stay where they are. It's happened in Sudan. It's happening in Hong Kong. It happened in Syria. It happened in, you can say, Venezuela. It has been happening everywhere in the world. Go to whatever. Go to Yemen. Means there is no one place all over the world. It's Venezuela in the west, and you can say Yemen in every Arabic Middle East, and you can say Palestine, Israel in the Middle East, and you can say Hong Kong in Far East, and you can say wherever it is happening. It's not easy to control that. So make your mind. Think of what you want to say, and don't be blindless. Don't be blind in mind as well as in eyes. It's not, I'm just talking of my favor, my national favor, my constitutional favor, my public favor. I'll support you only when you support us. You are not supporting us, you are only interested to stay in power by whatever method it is possible for you. Every method is not acceptable, Mr. Prime Minister and Mr. President. Mr. President, you are not doing your duty. You are not raising questions, which is your duty. You are not doing, you are just signing. We said you are sitting there only for signing. This is not acceptable. This is ill, very ill method. You are first citizen. You are supreme commander of arms. You are our head of state. You are everything. You are government head. But what is this? What is this? You are not talking to public. You are not sending any message. You are just supporting what government executive does. You are an executive head, but you are not directing them also. And this is not acceptable. This is very bad, you may say. This reputation you are running and bad for us. Well, I'll now go ahead with Constitution. As I discussed yesterday about various states, and that is I was reaching up to Article 371, I remember. And that article says Article 371F, and that is regarding Sikkim. Notwithstanding anything in this constitution, Legislative Assembly of State of Sikkim shall consist of not less than 30 members, as from date of commencement of Constitution 36 Amendment Act 1975 hereafter. In this article referred to as appointed day, Assembly for Sikkim formed as a result of elections held in Sikkim in April 1974 with 32 members elected in said elections, thereafter referred to as sitting members, shall be deemed to be Legislative Assembly of State of Sikkim duly constituted under this constitution. Sitting members shall be deemed to be members of Legislative Assembly of State of Sikkim duly elected under this constitution. Said Legislative Assembly of States of Sikkim shall exercise powers and perform functions of Legislative Assembly of a state under this constitution. In case the Assembly is deemed to be Legislative Assembly of the State of Sikkim under Clause B, references of the period of 5 years in Clause Article 172 shall be constituted as references to a period of 4 years, and said period of 4 years shall be deemed to commence from appointed day until other provisions are made by Parliament by law. There shall be allotted to State of Sikkim one seat in House of People, and State of Sikkim shall form one parliamentary constituency to be called Parliamentary Constituency of Sikkim. A representative of State of Sikkim in House of People in existence on appointed day shall be elected by members of Legislative Assembly of State of Sikkim. Parliament may, for purpose of protecting rights and interests of different sections of population of Sikkim, make provision for number of seats in Legislative Assembly of the state of Sikkim, which may be filled by candidates belonging to such sections, and for delimitation of assembly constituencies from which candidates belonging to such sections along may stand for elections to Legislative Assembly of State of Sikkim. Governor of Sikkim shall have a special responsibility for peace and for an equitable arrangement for ensuring social and economic advancement of different sections of people, population of Sikkim, and in discharge of his special responsibilities under this clause, Governor of Sikkim shall, subject to such directions as President may from time to time deem fit to issue act in this discretion, all properties and assets, whether within or outside territories comprised in the state of Sikkim, which immediately before appointed day were vested in government of Sikkim or in any other authority or in person for purposes of government of Sikkim, shall as from appointed day vest in government of state of Sikkim. High Court functions as such immediately before appointed day in territories comprised in state of Sikkim shall on and from appointed day within to be High Court for the state of Sikkim. All courts of civil, criminal and revenue jurisdiction, all authorities and all officers, judicial, executive and ministerial throughout territory of state of Sikkim shall continue on and from appointed day to exercise their respective functions subject to provisions of this constitution. All laws in force immediately before appointed day in territories comprised in state of Sikkim or any part thereof shall continue to be in force therein until amended or repealed by competent legislature or other competent authority for purpose of facilitating application of any such law as is referred to in clause K in relation to administration of the state of Sikkim, and for purpose of bringing provisions of any such law into accord with provisions of this constitution, President may within 2 years from appointed day by order make such adaptations and modifications of law, whether by way of repeal or amendment as may be necessary or expedient, and thereupon every such law shall have effect subject to adaptations and modifications so made, and any such adaptation or modification shall not be questioned in any court of law. Neither Supreme Court nor any other court shall have jurisdiction in respect of any dispute or other matter arising out of any treaty, agreement, engagement, or other similar instrument relating to Sikkim, which was entered into or executed before appointed day, and to which government of India or any of its predecessors governments was a party, but nothing in this law shall be considered to derogate from previous provisions of Article 143. President may by public notification extend with such restrictions or modifications as think fit to the state of Sikkim any enactment which is in force in a state in India at date of notification. If any difficulty arises in giving effect to any of foregoing provisions of this article, President may by order do anything, including any adaptation or modifications of any other article, which appear to him to be necessary for purpose of removing this difficulty, provided that no such order shall be made after expiry of 2 years from appointed day. All things done in and all actions taken in or in relation to state of Sikkim or territories comprised therein during period commencing on appointed day and ending immediately before that day on which Constitution 36 Amendment Act 1975 receives assent of President shall in so far as they are in conformity with conformity with provisions of this Constitution as amended by Constitution 36 Amendment Act 1975 within for all purposes to have been validly done or taken under this Constitution as so amended. 3371G, this article is another one. This is regarding Mizoram. Article Mizoram, and this is this one that we have water. No act of parliament in respect of religious or social practices of measures, customary law and procedure, administration of civil and criminal justice involving decisions according to measure customary law, ownership and transfer of land shall apply to state or Mizoram unless Legislative Assembly of State or Mizoram by a resolution so decides. Provided that nothing in this clause shall apply to any central act in force in Union Territory of Mizoram immediately before commencement of Constitution 53rd Amendment Act 1986. Legislative Assembly of State of Mizoram shall consist of not less than 40 members. Article 371H. Notwithstanding anything of this Constitution is regarding Arunachal Pradesh, notwithstanding anything in this Constitution, Government of Arunachal Pradesh shall have special responsibility with its respect to law and order in the state of Arunachal Pradesh and in discharge of functions in relation thereto. Governor shall, after consulting Council of Ministers, exercise his individual judgment as to action to be taken. Provided that if any question arises whether any matter is not a matter as respects which governor is under this clause required to act in every exercise of his individual judgment, decision of governor in his discretion shall be final, and validity of anything done by governor shall not be called in question on ground that he ought or ought not to have acted upon in exercise of individual judgment. Provided further that if President on receipt of a report from Governor or otherwise is satisfied that it is no longer necessary for Governor to have special responsibility with respect to law and order in the state of Arunachal Pradesh, he may by order direct that Governor shall cease to have such responsibility with effect from such date as may be specified in order. Legislative Assembly of State of Arunachal Pradesh shall consist of not less than 30 members. The Article 371I, and this is for Goa, notwithstanding anything in this Constitution, Legislative Assembly of the State of Goa shall consist of not less than 30 members. Then it is 372(1), continuance in force of existing laws and their adaptation. Now this is a different line of now states have gone away. We are talking something very important, which must be understood by citizen, because this causes some confusion as well. What it says, 372(1), notwithstanding repeal by this Constitution of enactments referred to in Article 395, but subject to other provisions of this Constitution, all law in force in territory of India-Bharat immediately before commencement of this Constitution shall continue in force therein until altered or repealed or amended by a competent legislature or other competent authority. Again, I am reading this for you because it is very important. Notwithstanding repeal by this Constitution of enactments referred to in Article 395, but subject to other provisions of this Constitution, all law in force in territory of Bharat India immediately before commencement of this Constitution shall continue in force therein until altered or repealed or amended by a competent legislature or other competent authority. For this purpose of bringing provisions of law in force in territory of India, Bharat into accord with provisions of this Constitution, President may by order make such adaptations and modifications of such a law, whether by way of repeal or amendment, as may be necessary or expedient, and provide that law shall as from such date as may be specified in order have effect subject to adaptations and modifications so made, and any such adaptation or modification shall not be questioned in any court of law. Nothing in this clause shall be deemed to empower President to make any adaptation. Nothing is clause shall be deemed to empower President to make any adaptation or modification of any law after expiration of 3 years from commencement of this Constitution, to prevent any competent legislature or other competent authority from repealing or amending any law adopted or modified by the President under said clause. Now explanation is there. Expression law in force. Expression law in force in this article shall include a law passed or made by a legislature or other competent authority in territory of India-Bharat before commencement of this constitution and not previously repealed, notwithstanding that it or move parts of its move parts of it may not be then in operation either at all or in particular areas. Explanation is given. Any law passed or made by a legislature or other competent authority in territory of India Bharat which immediately before constitution before commencement of this constitution had extraterritorial effect as well as effect of in the territory of India shall subject to any such adaptation and modifications as aforesaid continue to have such extraterritorial effect. Explanation 3. Nothing in this article shall be construed as continuing any temporary law in force beyond date fixed for it, fixed for its explanation or date on which it would have expired if this constitution had not been come into force. Expression 4. I did last expression is this. An ordinance promulgated by governor of a province under Section 88 of Government of India Act 1935 and enforced immediately before commencement of this constitution shall, unless withdrawn by governor of corresponding state earlier, cease to operate at expiration of 6 weeks from first meeting after such commencement of legislative assembly or that state functioning under clause of Article 382, and nothing in this article shall be construed as continuing any such ordinance in a force or beyond said force. Now we'll look at 372A, which is power of president to adopt laws. Same continues now. I have a problem with reading because of my eyes, I feel strain and I cannot read very fast. While speaking is no problem because in speaking eyes are not speaking, mouth is speaking. Article 372A for purposes of bringing provisions of any law in force in India or in any other part thereof immediately before commencement of this Constitution 7th Amendment Act 1956 into accord with provisions of this Constitution as amended by that Act, President may by order made before first day of November 1957 make such adaptations and modifications of law, whether by way of repeal or amendment as may be necessary or expedient, and provide that law shall, as from such date as may be specified in order, have effect subject to it, have effect subject to adaptations and modifications so made, and any such adaptation or modification shall not be questioned in any court of law. Then nothing in this clause shall be deemed to prevent a competent legislature or other competent authority from repealing or amending any law adopted or modified by President under this said clause. Then it is 373, Article 373 is the power of President to make order in respect for persons under privative, the definition in certain cases. So, not 373. Until provision is made by Parliament under Clause 7 of Article 22, or until expiration of 1 year from commencement of this Constitution, whichever is earlier, said article shall have effect as if for any reference to Parliament in clauses 4 and 7 thereof there were substituted there was substituted a reference to President, and for any reference to any law made by Parliament in those clauses. They were submitted a reference There was submitted a reference to an order made by President. Now 374, which is an article, judges of federal court and proceedings pending in federal court of, of Her Majesty in Council. Hmm. Okay. Judges of federal court holding offices immediately before commencement of this Constitution shall, unless they have elected otherwise, become on such commencement, violate such commencement of judges, or of the Supreme Court, and shall hereupon be entitled in respect of leave or absence and pension as are provided as under Article 65, 125 in respect of judges of Supreme Court. All suits, appeals, and proceedings, civil or criminal, pending in federal court at commencement of this Constitution shall stand removed to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court shall have the jurisdiction to hear and undermine same and judgments and orders of same federal court. Disadvantage, distribution, and shall have jurisdiction to have and determine same and judgments and orders of federal court delivered or made before commencement of this Constitution shall have same force and effect of as if they were delivered or made by Supreme Court. Nothing in this Constitution shall operate, invalidate, exercise, or jurisdiction by His Majesty in Council, to dispose of appeals and petitions from or in respect of any judgment, decree, or order of any court within territory of Bharat, India, in so far insofar as exercise of such justification is not authorized by law and in law. Okay. Authorized by law, and any order of His Majesty in Council made on any type, any such appeal or petition after commencement of this Constitution shall for all purposes have effect as if it were an order in other. Okay. Shall for all purposes have effect as if it were an order or decree made by Supreme Court in exercise of jurisdiction conferred on such court by this Constitution. On and advance, on and from on and from commencement of this Constitution, jurisdiction of authority functioning as Privy Council in state specified Part B of first schedule to first schedule first schedule. Let me read again. I missed somewhere. Yes. First is scheduled to entertain and dispose of appeals and petitions from or in respect of any judgment, decree, or order of any court within that state shall cease and all appeals and other proceedings pending before said authority at such commencement shall be transferred to and disposed of by Supreme Court. Further provisions may be Further provisions may be made by Parliament by law to give effect to provisions of this article. Article 375. This is regarding courts, authorities, and officers to continue. All courts of civil, criminal, and revenue jurisdiction, all authorities, and all officers, judicial, executive, and ministerial throughout territory of India-Bharat shall continue to exercise their post. post hmm, all courts of civil, criminal, and revenue jurisdiction, all authorities and all officers, judicial, executive, and ministerial throughout territory of India shall continue to exercise their respective functions subject to provisions of this Constitution. Article 376. Notwithstanding anything in this clause 2 of Article 217, judges of High Court in any province holding office immediately before commencement of this Constitution shall, unless they have elected otherwise, become on such commencement judges of High Court in corresponding states and shall thereupon be entitled to such salaries and allowances and to such rights in respect of leave or not absenting and pensions are as are provided for under under Article 221 in respect of judges of in respect of judges of high court, such high court, any such judge shall, notwithstanding that he is not a citizen of Bharat, legislature for appointment as Chief Justice of such high court or as case justice or Chief Justice of other judge of any is respect respective respective high uh, hmm, as per and to such right in respect of leave of absence and pension as are provided for under Article 221 in respect of judges of such high court, any such judge shall, notwithstanding that he is not a citizen of India, be eligible for appointment as Chief Justice of such high court or as Chief Justice of other judges of any other high court. Judges of a high court in any Indian state corresponding to any state specified in Part B of first schedule holding office immediately before the commencement of this constitution shall, unless they have elected otherwise, become on such commencement before such commencement become on such commencement judges of high court in state or specified and shall, notwithstanding anything in this clause 1 and 2 of article 217, subject to subject to provision to clause 1 of that article, committee committee to hold office until expiration of such article period as president may by an order determine. Okay. Now, in this article, expression judge does not include an acting judge or an additional judge. Article 377. Article 377. Auditor General of India, holding office immediately before commencement of this constitution, shall, unless he has elected otherwise, become on such commencement Comptroller and Auditor General of India, and such thereupon be entitled to such salaries and to such rights in respect of leave of absence and pensions as are provided for under under clause 3 of article 148 in respect of comptroller and authority auditor general of India, and be entitled to continue to hold office until expiration of his term of office as determined under provisions which were applicable to him immediately before such commencement. Then Article 378, Secretary and Commission, Public Secretary, Service Commission, Public Service Commission. Members of Public Service Commission for Dominion of India holding office immediately before commencement of this constitution shall, unless they have elected otherwise, become on such commencement members of Public Service Commission for Union, and shall, notwithstanding anything in clause 1 and 2 of Article 316, but subject to provision of clause 2 of their clause 2 of that article, continue to hold office until the which rules which were applicable of okay expiration of their term of office as determined under rules which were applicable immediately before such commencement of such members. Members of Public Service Commission of a province or a Public Service Commission serving needs of group of provinces holding office immediately before commencement of this constitution shall, unless they have elected otherwise, become on such commencement members of Public Service Commission for corresponding state or members of Joint State Public Service Commission servicing corresponding officers are members of the corresponding state or members of Joint State Public Commission, Joint State Public Service Commission serving needs of corresponding states as case may be, and shall, notwithstanding anything in clause 1. And to clause 1 and 2 of article 316, but subject to provisions to clause 2 of that article. continue to hold office until expiration of their term of office as determined under rules which were applicable immediately before such commencement to such members. Then 378A special provision to duration of Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly. Sorry. 378A. Notwithstanding anything contained in Article 172, Legislative Assembly of the State of Andhra Pradesh as constituted under provisions of sections 28 and 9 of the State's Reorganization Act 1956 shall, unless sooner dissolved, continue for a period of 5 years from date referred to in said section 29 and no longer an expiration of state. Said period shall operate as a resolution of that legislative assembly. 379, 391 appealed, repealed. This is seventh amendment. Then power of president to remove difficulties. Power of president to remove difficulties. President may, for purpose of removing any difficulties, particularly in relation to transition from provision of the Government of India Act 1935 to provisions of this Constitution, by order direct that this Constitution shall, during such period as may be specified in order, have effect subject to such adaptations, whether by way of modification, addition, or omission, as he may deem to be necessary or expedient, provided that no such order shall be made after first meeting of Parliament during constituted under Chapter 2 of Part 2. Every order made under Clause 1 shall be laid before Parliament. Powers conferred on President to President by Article 354, by Clause 3 of Article 367, and by Article 39, 391 shall before commencement of this Constitution be exercisable by Governor General of Dominion of India. Now we are going to part 22, short title, commencement of author. Short title, commencement, authority to text in Hindi and repeal. Article 393. This constitution may be called Constitution of India. This is short title. Then 394. This is commencement. This article and Article 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 324, 366, 367, 379, 380, 388, 391, 392, and 393 shall come into force at once, and remaining provisions of this Constitution shall come into force on 26th day of January 1950, which day is referred to in this Constitution as commencement of this Constitution. 394A. President shall cause to be published under this authority a translation of this Constitution in Hindi language signed by members of Constituent Assembly within such modification as may be necessary to bring it in conformity with languages, style, and terminology adopted in authoritative texts of central acts in Hindi language, and incorporating therein all amendments of this Constitution made before such publication, and translation in Hindi language of every amendment of this Constitution made in English language. Translation of this Constitution and of every amendment thereof published under Clause 1 shall be conceived to have the same meaning as original thereof. And if any difficulty arises in so construing any part of such translation, President shall cause the same to be revised. The translation of this Constitution and of every amendment thereof published under this article shall be deemed to be for all purposes authoritative text thereof in Hindi language, Article 395, Indian Independence Act 1947 and Government of India Act 1935, together with all enactments amending or supplementing later act but not including abolition of First Privy Council Jurisdiction Act 1949 are ever repealed. So this is what Article 395 are there. Now, I'll talk about explanations of this. What we are doing here, we'll take this further because there are so many more things left in this. There's only 95 articles we just talked. There is more to this. Schedules are there. This is first schedule. The states: Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Gujarat, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Orissa, Punjab, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Jammu and Kashmir, which is a problem now, Nagaland, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Manipur, Tripura, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Goa, Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand, Delhi, the Union Territories, Delhi, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, then Lakshadweep, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu, Pondicherry, Chandigarh, and then second schedule, this was first one. Second is party provisions of president and governors of states. Article 50, all these are there. Article 59, bracket 3, 65, bracket 3, 75, bracket 6, 97, 125, 148, bracket 3, 158, bracket 3, 164, bracket 5, 186, and 21. Party provisions of president and governors of states. They shall be paid to president and to governors of states following emoluments per mention. I will not tell amounts here, just salary is there. They shall be also paid to president and governors. These are all allowances at president and governors, etc. I am not going to tell all this. These are stage order. The part C there. Provisions of state speaker and deputy speaker of House of the People and chairman and deputy chairman of Council of States and speaker and deputy speaker of Legislative Assembly and chairman and the deputy chairman of Legislative Council's office. So we subsequently say they shall be paid to Speaker of House of People and Chairman of Council of States such as salaries, etc., etc. This all that. So I'm not going to about this because this has nothing to do with that. So we'll go to Part D, which is provisions as judges of Supreme Court. This is also salary, so I will not go about this. Then it is the second schedule. Judges again same thing. I will not go over this. No use of talking about this. So now let's go to which part is there. All salaries. I don't need all this to discuss with you because this is keep on changing. It's all in second schedule. Second schedule says then they are saying here that party is there. This is regarding provisions of Comptroller and other General of India. They shall be paid to Comptroller General of India his salary of the rate of 400,000 dollars. These are all side on the lists. Then there is third schedule. Forms of oath of affirmations. These are forms of oath which are also very important, particularly two forms of oath. One form of oath for minister, central minister of union, and that form of oath is very important. Let us see what that form is. Are they maintaining that or they are not maintaining? There's a problem point. Are we, if you cannot maintain our oath, what can we maintain? I don't know. Can't maintain our oath. It is I A.B. do, in name of God, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold sovereignty and integrity of India, that I will faithfully and conscientiously discharge my duties as member, Minister Forest Union, and that I will do right to all manners of people as honest with Constitution and law without fear or favor, affection or ill will. Then oath Minister, Secretary for Minister. Again, same union, I, AB, etc. Name of word that I will directly or indirectly communicate or reveal. I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal to any person or persons any matter which shall be brought under my consideration or shall become known to me as a minister for union, except as may be required for due discharge of my duties as such minister. Then form of oath of formation to be made by candidate for election. This is also important. IAB having been nominated as a candidate to fill a seat in Council of States or House of People, swearing solemnly affirm that I will bear true faith and allegiance to Constitution of Bharat India are by law established, and that I will uphold sovereignty and integrity of Bharat India. And same thing is all for oaths. So I'm not giving much stress on this. I'm just jumping on to something else. Oath is oath. Fourth schedule allocation of seats in Council of States. I'll just take 2 minutes and come back because I have to feed certain birds. Just please hold on, wait. Certain birds are getting hungry. Just 2 minutes. So I fed these birds well this morning. Yes, right. Come on. So allocation of seats in Council of States to each state or union territory specified in the first column of following table. There shall be allotted number of seats specified in second column thereof opposite to that state or that union and territory. Andhra Pradesh 18, Assam 7, Bihar 16, Jharkhand 6, Goa 1, Gujarat 11, Haryana 5. Well, I think these are old. Kerala 9, just their states mentioned, seats are mentioned. Then we will go to, I think, let me read it, whatever it is better. So Gujarat 11, Haryana 5, Kerala 9, Madhya Pradesh 11, Chhattisgarh 5, Tamil Nadu 18, Maharashtra 19, Karnataka 12, Orissa 10, Punjab 7. So let me see because Rajasthan 10, Uttar Pradesh 31, Uttarakhand 3, West Bengal 16, Jammu and Kashmir 4, Nagaland 1, Himachal Pradesh 3, Manipur 1, Tripura 1, Meghalaya 1, Sikkim 1, Mizoram 1, Arunachal Pradesh 1, Delhi 3, Pondicherry 1. Total of 233 mentioned here. Then we'll go to for fifth schedule, which is provision as to administration and control of schedule area. I'm calling the schedule, we can say schedule, doesn't matter. And schedule tribe, which is part 1 general. Interpretation is in this schedule, unless context otherwise requires, expression state does not include states of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram, etc. Anyway, executive power of a state in schedule is subject to provisions of this schedule. Executive power of a state extend to schedule area therein. Report by governor to the president regarding the administration of schedule area. Governor of each state having schedule areas therein shall annually or whenever so required by president make a report to president regarding administration of schedule area in that state, and executive power of union shall extend to giving of directions to that state as to administration of that said area. And part B says administration and control of schedule area and scheduled tribes. Tribe Tribes Advisory Council. There shall be established in each state having scheduled areas therein, and if president so directs, also in state having scheduled tribes but not scheduled areas therein, a tribes advisory council consisting of not more than 20 members, of whom as nearly as may be three-fourths shall be representatives of scheduled tribes in legislative assembly of states. Then fifth schedule, provided that if number of representatives of scheduled tribes in legislative assembly of state is less than number of seats in in Tribes Advisory Council to be filled by such representatives. The remaining seats shall be filled by other members of those tribes. It shall be duty of Tribe Advisory Council to advise on such matters pertaining to welfare and advancement of scheduled tribes and state as may be referred to them by Governor. Governor may make rules pertaining to prescribing, regulating as may be case may be the number of members of council, mode of their appointment, and the appointment of chairman of council and officers and servants thereof. Conduct a meeting of procedures in general, all other incidental matters. Law applicable to scheduled areas. Notwithstanding anything in this constitution, governor may be by public notification direct that any particular act of parliament or legislature of a state shall not apply to a scheduled area or any part thereof in a state or shall apply to a scheduled area or any part thereof in a state subject to such exceptions or modifications as may specify in notification, and any direction given under subparagraph may be given so as to have retrospective effect. Governor may make regulations for peace and the good government of any area in state which is on for time being scheduled. In particular and without prejudice to generality of the foregoing powers, such regulations may prohibit or restrict transfer of land by or among members of scheduled tribes in such area, regulate allotment of land to members of scheduled tribes in such area, regulate carrying out business as men and money by persons who lend money to members of scheduled tribes in such state. In making any such regulation as referred to in subparagraph 2 of this paragraph, of governor may repeal or amend an act of parliament or legislature of state or any existing law which is for time being applicable to area under question. All regulations made under this paragraph shall be submitted for hearing for president and until assented by him shall have no effect. No regulation shall be made under this paragraph unless governor makes making regulations has in case where there is a tribes advisory council for state consulted with council. Then this scheduled area means in this constitution expression scheduled area means such areas of president may by order declare to be scheduled area. President may at any time by order direct that whole or any specified part of a scheduled area shall cease to be a scheduled area or a part of such an area. Increase area of any scheduled areas in a state after consultation with governor of that state, alter but only by way of rectification of boundaries any scheduled area. On any alteration of boundaries of a state or admission into union or establishment of a new state, declare any territory not previously included in any state to be or form part of scheduled areas. Resigned in relation to any state or states any order or order made under this paragraph, and in consultation with governor of a state concerned, make fresh orders redefining areas which are to scheduled areas, and any such order may confirm such incidental and consequential provisions as appear to president to be necessary and proper, but save as aforesaid order made under subparagraph of this paragraph shall not be varied by any subsequent order. Amendments of schedules. Part D. Parliament may from time to time by law amend way of addition, variation, repeal any of provisions of a schedule, and when schedule is so amended, any reference to this schedule in this constitution shall be construed as a reference to such schedule so amended. No such law as is mentioned in subparagraph 1 of this paragraph shall be deemed to be an amendment of this constitution for purpose of Article 368. Then we'll go to sixth schedule. I will take it later on. After sixth schedule, we'll go to further. I'm just stopping at sixth schedule, which will take later because it's already, you can say, quite long time, and we will take further this contents of constitution. Well, it's really enjoyable for me, and I think those people who are interested to know about constitution must enjoy or should be enjoying. It's up to people of this country, not up to me. To this, I consider my duty that I should share what I can read or I can explain or I understand to all those people, all those friends who have no chance or no time or could not understand or they don't want to understand. If they don't understand, nobody can help them. But legally, or you can say morally, or to meet requirements in life, it is better if you know something. I'm not saying you remember this or you know in details, but at least one should know what information is available where. What is called expertise, in fact. Expertise doesn't mean you know each and every word of a subject or a chapter or book. It means that you should know location. If suppose in emergency you need some information, you can access to, you can lead to that point and locate your information, get in and get out of information with information, and that is called expertise. And this should not waste time. If you know something, you can immediately go, or otherwise you will browse in many books and find what is, or you ask some person, other one. It's better to keep ready, just slow, and I'm discussing with you. At least you can know what is there contained in this constitution and what type of laws are there and provisions are there, so that you can know when it is required, means in discussion or a meeting, in interaction in certain corners or interaction around people or your bosses, means it is general information. If you are working in higher post, in management post, you must need this. Unfortunately, this is not happening. Our school boys don't know anything, our college boys don't know, and even professionals don't understand this, which is really not a becoming situation for this country. We should know what we are. Doesn't matter if it's a part of program of your studies, doesn't matter. Not everything is not program of your studies. Either you have learned some BA or MA or BE or ME or PhD or CA or something. Every program cannot teach you everything. That is specialized studies. If you know political science, you will not everything about political science. If you know economical science, you cannot everything about economy. Means just they teach you that you should have a capacity to grasp subject, and that's more important. Similarly, in engineering, whatever we learn, it doesn't mean that is only engineering. We learn in university very little engineering. Same thing, a doctor learns very little by practice and by experience and by further studies and by further management. And learning is field, you learn a lot. Field is big, learning big. University, if you really apply that knowledge to you, pick up knowledge from there. Because there are professors in the universities, and professors are supposed to know limited. So they are called experts and they are researcher, everything is there. But that is not in continuation. Education and knowledge keeps up updating every day, and we should know in professions particularly what is happening, what is not happening, and what we are working in field, and how we are getting answers from there, how we are getting research contents and papers and notes. We should grasp that. That's called profession. I'm not stressing that you are all professional. The question is, for example, this constitution is there. There have been more than 100 amendments. Why have been there? There should have been some reason for that. And that reason brought them into picture. And that's we should know. I'm not saying just again go by what even lawyers and all advocates don't know, judges don't know. They, when there is some case, they call all acts and notifications and previous orders, and then they study them and review them all and reach some new judgment. And that's called case law. There's some changes in law. If there's no changes in law, then they justify, they deliver applications, and that's what I'm saying. So similarly, we should have a hunger to grasp something. It's not simply that I'm a scientist, I think only for this, or we are a killer, you think about you are an IAS officer. It's not that. Mind education means mind is developed, and once mind is developed, you have to develop it further, and that is required. Lack of such activity means you will elect these robbers as MPs, and this. If you understand constitution, you shall never elect these robbers. That is why I want. Because we are electing our people, they have to work for us, they have to help us improve this nation, but that is not happening. That has not been happening since beginning of this independent country, 1947. This didn't happen. Yes, that happened to some extent. We got some development in this country. This country has developed. Country is not sitting on the step of 1947. It has got many steps up. It has crossed even landings of the flight, and many more flights has taken up. But we have to reach terrace, and about terrace we have to construct something, and that is required. I'm not saying they did nothing or Go did nothing. That's not my field of scope here. That's not my scope. My scope is different. My scope is that keep on developing. Accept those people who work for you, who help you, who interact with you, who think of you. MP or help with everybody. If that person is working for you, this is good for you. If that person is belonging to Congress or belonging to BJP or belonging to ABCD, if that person is not good for you, condemn that person, whoever it may be. That person is in public office, that is political office, that is national office, that is state level office. They are meant for us. They are representative for us. They are our servants. They are being paid by us. They are not doing free of cost. Prime Minister is not doing free of cost. President is not doing free of cost. They are charging for that. They are our service providers constitutionally. You may not accept, sir. Why don't you accept? They are in service to us for governance. They are serving us in governance. They are serving us in to run our life. So they have to do. They cannot say anything, or they cannot take decisions without our choice. They say parliament has to something. That's right, but people should accept correct things, not bad things, not illegal things, not things according to arbitrary method. They should have explanation for everything. But we are not raising questions. I don't know why. Educated class, illiterate class, all things. I don't know. I don't talk in government. Don't talk in prime minister. Why? Are we their offsprings? Are they gods? Are they our parents? They're our servants. Can they put in jail? Let them put in jail. How many should put in jail? We have to consider ourselves citizen of this country. It's not British regime. It's not Mughal regime. It is public regime. We people of this country, having solemnly resolved to constitute this country into sovereign, secular, socialist, democratic republic, and to secure to our people justice, liberty, liberty, and you can say freedom of every kind. Economic justice, social justice, political justice, liberty of thought, liberty of expression, liberty of everything, the religion, all that, and opportunity is everything. And whatever it has to, they have to deliver to us this. They cannot simply say, we suspend your right. Who are you to suspend our right? You are not honor this. We are, you are equal honor, of course. But as a citizen, you are an honor. But as Prime Minister, you are not honor of this country. As President, you are not honor of this country. We are our citizen. You are honor. You are the same honor as I am. So you have to be with me. If you are my representative, you have to work for me. You cannot work for Prime Minister or President. No, you cannot work. You can work for me. I appointed you as voter. All voters appointed you, so you are employees for 5 years. And remember that you are not honor. You cannot take decisions according to your will. You have to take decisions according to the requirement of Constitution, the requirement of laws, and our requirement. You have to listen to us. You have to hear us. You have to tell us what you have done. It's not simply that I will not talk. I will talk man ki baat only. I will not listen to anybody. No, that is not applicable. That is not acceptable at all. People will throw you out one day. You have come back again by cheating of EVMs. Otherwise, you would not have come back. You will not have known 50 to 86 maximum. You got 303 because of EVMs and because of election commissioner. In connivance, the Prime Minister connivance with election commission, cheated machines, and Amit Shah, boss of the boss in this case. Well, I'm not going to that way now because that has got no meaning at all. It's our country, we have to think. It's our constitution, we have to understand it. We have to stop all bad things. Now what he's done in Jammu and Kashmir is not acceptable because he put people behind jail. He cannot put all city behind jail. Is it acceptable? We are not appointed Hitler. We are not appointed those you can say dictators like in Arab countries. No, we didn't appoint them. This is democratic country. This is a republic country. This is a secular country. This is logical country. This is a public country. This is not king country. This is not prime minister country. This is not president country, and this is not Supreme Court country as well. This is public country, public and public. We people, what you have to do, what we want to do. That is what you have to do. Jammu and Kashmir people are our people. They are brothers and sisters. You cannot treat them like this. You have no right to treat them like this. Who are you to treat this? It's you. You are honor of their country. No, you are not honor of that state as well. They are honor of their state. We are honor of our country. They are honor of their state. Everybody is honor of states. You have to ask people. You have to consult them. Then you can decide. Otherwise, you cannot decide. Parliament is not absolute representative people. Parliament is not Bharat. Parliament is just having 550 plus 250 representatives only, nothing else. They have to do what we want to do. They cannot simply say we have majority and they can decide anything. You cannot decide everything. You cannot decide that you kill me. Can you decide that? Can Parliament decide that they will kill me or kill you? They have no power to decide as such. They are be full in public. Did they have a power to put them in jail? Did Parliament have power or government of Bharat have power to put these people arrested, behind houses? Don't come out and don't move on road. Do they have that power? What for? This is injustice. This is over provision. This is over smartness. This is called Gunda kingdom. Why you put them behind jails? You want to police some community inside? So certain people who follow you want to please them, and they are talking, we'll take land and we'll take their girls and this and that. What is this nonsense? And you are silent. First of all, you did wrong. You must have analyzed everything. You must have gone through all documents, related documents. You did not do that. You did whatever you want to do, then that's it. Well, I'll close it now because time is too much and I'll talk something else or other. I'll extend it further and now close it for time being. Just telling people and appealing to people, don't be emotionalized. I will just say what this Prime Minister is trying to do. This Prime Minister knows a very good art, and that art is how to emotionalize persons, how to emotionalize people of this country. You must have seen he never expresses anger, and this is very dangerous. Believe me, if a person who expresses anger, his mind is clear and his heart is clear. If a person who always talks very polite and doesn't get any temperature when talking, that person is very dangerous person because that person keeps something in heart and something in mind and something on tongue. That is very dangerous situation. A person who is clear here and clear here, that person is always good. But a person who keeps on talking and talking and talking as if he can do only thing, he can only tell something, that person does nothing and is very dangerous. Our current Prime Minister is very expert, very active to emotionalize people, to bring them into sentimental world and people get moved. This art is known to him. I appreciate for this, but this is not applicable properly. This is applicable to your home, this is applicable to your friendship circle, this can be applicable in your life, but this cannot be applicable in a country. A country of 1.4 billion people cannot be applied with this art. Because if you apply them, you will make waste of this country. Okay, you won this election, you won last election because of sentimentalized people, but your achievements are not applicable, they are not accepted. How long shall you do this? You know, when emotions arise, when somebody is sick, when somebody gets married or getting married, or there is some death, people get emotional.